best, number one and nothing less. Lead me to my destiny. I have waited patiently. I have vision, though I believe. I know I can count on me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up. Here we go, it's getting close. Now it's just who wants it most. It's just life, that's how it is. 'Cause we have our strengths and weaknesses. Oh, I have vision, oh, can't you see? I'm on the move, make way for me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up.
A very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us on Fair Play this week. Fair Play is that program that brings you up to speed with everything sports. Beginning from the home front, we go regional, we go national, we go continental, and we go intercontinental. And basically, you don't get to miss anything as far as it's Fair Play right here on NTA Channel 12. My name is Dianime Uko, and as always, I'm not going to be doing this alone. I have my friend, my compatriot, my brother, and one who, together, we bring you everything sports, John Paul Alumona. JP, good afternoon. Good to have you join me on this program.
Good afternoon, Danny. Nice to be here again this week.
Okay, so a lot is happening, especially here in Akwa Ibom State, and that is the Niger Delta Sports Festival. So much is ongoing as we speak. Actions are taking place across different venues here in Akwa Ibom State, and not just within Uyo. We have venues across the state, like I said, and so much is happening. Also away from here, we have Ibom Angels, who did do us proud over the weekend, thrashing Sporting Angels 17-0. That's in the round of 32 of the President's Federation Cup. Away from that, we have our own Akwa United wallowing and swallowing, and of course trying to find our way out of the relegation zone in the MPFL. We'll also take you very fast to England, where officially Southampton Football Club of England, where our own Paulo Nuachu and of course Joe Aribo are relegated from the English Premier League to the Championship. On the other side, in the French Ligue 1, PSG are champions again of the French League with about 5 games to go. We have a number of other matches we'll bring your way, but of course stay tuned. In the next 25-30 minutes, we'll bring you up to speed with everything. But of course, let's begin from the English Premier League, where Liverpool have solidified their place on top of the log with about 73 points. And of course, that's massive. While on the other side, Southampton with 2 of our own men, Joe Aribo and Paulo Nuachu, going down the drain.
It's actually a sad one. You know, in football, it is said it is not yet over until it is over. And just as I told you, you know, Southampton, even though they sacked their coach along the line, they've not been impressive. They've struggled all this while. And it's unfortunate that 2 of our players are now relegated, Joe Aribo and Paul Nuachu. That is football for you. And, you know, hopefully, I believe because of the caliber, the quality of the players involved, they will get a better club that they will continue their career. Well, so it's a bad one. Then at the top of the table, having Liverpool with 73 points, followed by Arsenal with 62 points. It's as if just a 11-point gap. It's as if the coast is clear. I know you're not supporting Liverpool. I don't know, but you may not be happy because at the other side of it, at the number 4 is Chelsea, and interestingly, in the third position, Nottingham Forest, where our own
Taiwo Awoniyi is injured currently, yes. And of course we pray for him that he gets back off.
Of course, and then that shows that they will hopefully maybe get a continental slot.
Of course, they'll play in the Champions League. If they continue
like this,
yes,
if
this league table stays the way it is, they will play in the Champions League.
Unfortunately, Man City 5th position. Then looking at what they call it, Manchester United. I know you want to mention it, but let me prompt you. Manchester United, they are the 14th position. So that is football for you. I believe even with that 14th position with is it 37 or 42 points, the what they call it, dead bone can rise.
Okay,
again.
so Leicester City are also at the brink of relegation.
Yes, and
we have our own Wilfred Ndidi there.
Yeah,
just a matter of time. If they continue, they've had a streak of very poor results. If they continue this way,
it will not end well.
Then they will be relegated.
So
we'll have 3 of our very key players in the relegation.
No, yes, that will be, but we don't pray for that. Leicester still have a chances of surviving.
What's the chance? Look at the.
But it's not looking good because they are on the 17th. They have 17 points, which is not good at all. But we cannot start celebrating or maybe pitying them for being there. And I know Wilfred Ndidi, he had the prospects of leaving that team. Even if they had survived, he may still leave to maybe Turkey or any other serious club as their interest for him. So it's no problem. It's now yet over. It's over. But let's see how it goes. But for me, I think Liverpool, they are good to go.
Well, okay, away from that, let us come back home to the NPFL, the Nigeria Premier Football League, where matches did go down over the weekend. And of course, we did have games happen. Akwa United lost away from home. They had an almost perfect match. Almost perfect in the sense that they won all of their matches in March and had only one draw. But this is how things stand after match day 32. They lost that particular match away from home to Nasarawa United 2-0. And that has further dipped them in the draw.
And then, what shocked me about it is that, they got a red card. Yes, so in the 53rd minute or so, I was wondering, they were playing away from home. I don't know what must have prompted that red card, and they were one goal down before the red card. So after the red card, their woe continued, and then it wasn't 2-0. And because of they are in the 18th position on the table, on the log as it were, the goal difference may matter, and this 2-goal loss will not be good at the final.
Let us look at the top of the table. Rivers United played Remo Stars and defeated Remo Stars. Now these are the two teams that are top of the log.
And interestingly, I saw Abia Warriors there.
Yes, Abia Warriors are top
position. So
if we recall what we discussed last week,
yes,
there is one thing working for Abia Warriors, and that is the fact that Imama Mapakabo has been a coach in that team and has been consistent. Now, if you look at history in Nigeria, look at teams that have coaches that have stayed with the club for long, you see them do well. We talk about Rivers United, we talk about Eyimba, we talk about Rangers. Then today we have Abia Warriors. So of course, could this be the problem of Akwa United at this point? Because almost every season we have
this guy, there's a coach Ayeni also.
Coach Ayeni,
yeah, good. Ayodeji Ayeni. Yes. That guy came. I think he was either a league winner. No, he was not. He didn't win the league, but
it was Kennedy Boboy that won the league.
So it's no. But what I'm trying to establish is that he left. This is a Sunshine Stars also, which had a good outing that season before he came here, and he had some prospects. We hoped that he would do something, but unfortunately, things did not go his way. And according to him, I spoke with him in front of NTA here. And he reviewed some certain things to me. But because I was asking him, coach, we expected you to, do something good. He told me that the players he had, the ones he brought could not be signed because of maybe financial and the club decision and all that. But he's trying to, see how he can work with the management of the team too. Unfortunately, the next thing I heard was that he resigned. We understand
the Nigerian form of resignation.
So that kind of a thing. So it's unfortunate. That's one of the problems of Akwa United. If Kennedy Boboye had stayed after, even though since I've been close to the team somehow, Kennedy Boboye deviated, or let me say, I don't know what to call it. But
no. I will not agree that Kennedy Boboye deviated.
After he won the league, Akwa United management team allowed him, but the Champions League, how we had a woeful outing. Akwa United had a woeful outing in the Champions League. Then thereafter in the league, they were not doing well.
Okay,
Do you
so
get it? So that was why
this is it. Recall that. Can we count a number of the players that he used? A bulk of the players that he used to win the league. We had Charles Ashimene at the time, who was about the highest goal scorer.
Yes.
We had
something.
Yeah. We also had Ndifre Kefiong, who was very good. These were the goal scorers, and we had Mfonodo at the time.
Friday.
We also had Ubong Friday. Now, you know what happened at the end of that season? These guys all left Akwa United.
Exactly.
So of course, what was he going to build it, or what was he going to consolidate the win on? So, and that was even what I mean made the team go deep.
Exactly.
When they went on the continent.
Yeah, and after that time, Akwa United they've not survived.
Of course, how would they survive? Because bringing this set of players back again.
But on the other side of it also, do you know that some of the players were forced to leave?
No.
Yeah, some of them were just like, I don't know to call it disbanded. Yes.
Okay, so
most of them were relieved, which most of us criticized.
Recall that we had this conversation last week.
Sure.
The point where we do not have teams in Nigeria own players.
Exactly.
That's a problem, because at the end of the day, it is an agent that owns.
Because remember, there was even this Ekogulins.
Yes.
I've forgotten his name.
There was
some of them were just told to leave.
There was also a Nigerian.
Yes.
We had some foreigners. I think currently the only foreigner we have in Akwa United is Ginefala.
Yes.
Every other foreigner we had that helped the team, they had all of them. Now, because agents own players, these agents at all times will always look for greener pastures for their players. So if any team that pays in dollars comes, they will have to move their players.
It's natural.
So of course it is not about the teams. So we'll have to find sponsorship for the league, so that
which Aqua have been okay for the league, but Aqua
for the league,
Aqua have been opportune to have some sponsorship.
But this sponsorship only stays for a season.
A while,
and after that,
even this time, I don't know whether they are still there. But
now, because we're discussing home football, let us move very quickly to Ibom Angels. Ibom Angels did play over the weekend. I'm sure for the first time in its history, Ibom Angels did defeat a team by 17-0.
Yes, that 17-0 reminds me of what happened some years ago.
Akwa United.
No,
and Calabar
good.
That was supposed to be for a qualification series.
Yes, so the score line was actually very flattering. I don't know what actually happened. Were they not playing? Were they using hand to throw balls?
Are you asking about this particular one, or you're asking?
No, I don't want to recall what happened. But I'm just telling you the second one.
The Ibom Angels.
Yes,
the last one again.
No, the Ibom Angels, Sporting Angels. Were they just watching? And the Ibom Angels were.
Anyway, the clips are there. The clips are there. I'm sure we will.
People can just see the.
But this is it. It was football, and Ibom Angels are a Premier League side in the NWFL.
No doubt.
Sporting Lagos are not a Premier League side.
Yeah.
You know, since it is the President's Federation's Cup, the pairing are usually not exactly what you would expect.
Yeah.
So you can find maybe a team that is playing in the NLO play a team that is playing in the professional.
The young lady was just escorted into the net, you know. God.
So exactly that was what happened. So currently, as we speak, Ibom Angels have qualified to the round of 16.
That's a good.
But then again, in the President's Federation's Cup, this is what happens: the higher you go, the tougher it becomes. So we're expecting.
Remember, Akwa United also won their own.
They also won Jets, Mighty Jet of Jaws.
So 2-0, that was it. 2-0.
We expect that in the round of 16 they will get a more tougher team.
Sure.
And of course, we will expect that the deficit will reduce. It will be 17-0.
Yes. And then the good aspect of this is that the morale of
is high.
Having defeated the team 17-0, even the opponent, even if it may not be Rivers Angels or Bayelsa Queens, but at least any of that team will be afraid that these girls are serious-minded.
Very beautiful. Very beautiful. So we're looking forward to having every team in Akwa Ibom State that is representing us in the President's Federation's Cup go all the way to the finals.
Sure.
It won't be a bad idea having two Akwa Ibom teams.
Even United as champions. You remember Akwa United, they won twice.
Yes.
So if Ibom can lift it, it will be a good one.
Also Akwa United
yes.
too. Away from that, let us of course still stay at home. The Niger Delta Sports Festival did begin last week, and of course it commenced with the opening ceremony, which had some governors in attendance. Of course, the big wigs, the who is who in the world of sports in Nigeria. gathered here in Akwa Ibom, converged on here in Uyo and at the Uyo Township Stadium, and that did happen. Let us bring you up to speed with that particular opening ceremony. Then we get into the nitty-gritty of the sports festival.
The maiden edition of the Niger Delta Sports Festival with its theme, Beyond Oil, Harnessing Talents, is featuring about 4,000 athletes and coaches from Abia, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Cross River, Delta, Edo, Imo, Ondo, and Rivers States. The chairman, National Sports Commission, Shehu Diko, representing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, commends the organizers of the competition and the Akwa Ibom State government for hosting the event, noting that the event is in line with the federal government's renewed hope agenda.
Sports, and I just note about competition. They are a powerful tool for the youth, development, for community engagement, and economic growth.
Compete with pride, play with integrity, and may your efforts inspire future generations to dream even bigger.
For the first time in the history of Nigeria National Sports Festival, each and every 38 states to be represented at the National Sports Festival coming up in Abeokuta.
Akwa Ibom State Governor Umueno and his counterpart from Ondo State are thankful to the organizers for thinking towards discovery of sporting talents from the Niger Delta region to help reduce youth unemployment.
Time was when athletes from our region dominated Nigerian sports. We must rekindle that passion, and I am hopeful that this game represents the starting point of the sport relations in our region.
This event has demonstrated that we are not only known for oil production, we are also showcasing that human capital development in the areas of sport is one of the areas.
The managing director of Niger Delta Development Commission, Samuel Obuku, says the Niger Delta region has produced great athletes who represent Nigeria at various levels, hence their determination to discover younger athletes that will replace the older ones.
Youth across the Niger Delta will have the opportunity to interact amongst themselves, compete among themselves, and build solidarity.
In 25 years of the creation of the Niger Delta Development Commission, we saw the need to also intervene in the sports sector in a major way.
Athletes from the 9 states of the Niger Delta presented cultural dances to depict the unique identity of their states, while the festival touch was ignited.
All right, so that was the opening ceremony of the Niger Delta Sports Festival, as did happen at the Uyo Township Stadium. Now, after that, I think day 3 into the competition, we had the athletes from Akwa Ibom State protests over their welfare conditions and the fact that they were not kitted properly. And of course, that did affect the outcome of some of the results that we're going to see in the course of this program. But currently, let us just bring you up to speed with the protest that did happen at the Dakada Sports Complex, that is in Ikorodaidem. And of course, the Commissioner for Sport was on ground to also speak to them. And of course, we'll also see what happened afterwards. Let's bring you up to speed with that.
They came here, they gave them one. Somebody has to make an explanation. Like I said,
Footballer women yesterday after they play finish, coach Ekaike collect all their uniform. I want to ask, is it good?
Now let's explain exactly what happened in this last video. As a result of that protest, and of course
you have started with the first video first.
The protest happened because athletes did not get said having been paid, that they were supposed to have gotten some money to prepare.
Yeah, the camping allowance actually.
The camping allowance so that they could get their kits intact for the games proper. Now that did not happen. Now the second video was a wrestler from Akwa Ibom State who was not properly kitted. As we saw in that video, she was just putting on slippers. The other athlete, on the mat, was properly kitted. And because she was disqualified because of not being properly kitted, the other athletes now got the medal. So we saw her crying and walking away. Who should we blame in this kind of a situation? Monies had been made available. This is where we found ourselves, JP.
Danny Nuko is actually very sad and ridiculous, because Akwa Ibom is the host, and then we just saw the opening ceremony, very beautiful, colorful and all that, and then the state that is hosting could not even provide basic kits for the athletes. I remember in this program last time we're talking about Nigerian athletes that borrowed a bicycle, and we condemned it, or even all the sport journalists condemned it in this state, even across Nigeria and Africa, that Nigeria could not provide a bike. But unfortunately, the Minister of Sports then explained that it was because of the disqualification of a certain country that Nigeria were not initially scheduled to compete in that particular one. But now we see it's on our doorsteps. It's sad. The first protest, as you explained, was that the athletes of other states allegedly were paid between 30 to 35,000. But
as camp allowance.
But Akwa Ibom athletes were given 5,000 each. That was why they protested, and poverty went. And unfortunately, who's to be blamed? Those in the sports ministry. Now we all know, in all fairness to him, Obasi was not even appointed the commissioner before this festival was conceived.
But the ball falls on his table. He is government.
Yeah, he is. Then Simon Duku, who was there, was not even. He has already left office. If I'm not mistaken, he had left office before the festival was conceived. So the ministry was being run, as it were, by someone in the ministry. So Pobas just came. So I don't know. The two commissioners, as it were, are not there directly involved. I don't know. But just as you said, the buck falls on his table. But he can be shaded from this mess.
Well, very quickly, let us now bring you some action that did happen. Of course, it's happening currently.
Sorry, Danny. How do we, before we conclude? Sorry, where do we go from here? So that this cannot happen.
You see, it's a very terrible situation. Early preparation is key. All right, and if we do not prepare early, because early preparation would mean that we will get our kids intact early enough.
Sure.
Prepare our coaches early enough. Prepare our athletes early enough. Then see those ones. See what is remaining at the end of the day before the tournament begins. If we do not do this, then we will always have to come back to where we are. Just before we bring you the actions, let us now look at the table. Currently, as we speak, Bayelsa are top of the log with 68 medals, 36 gold, 20 silver and 12 bronze. We have Delta second, as it is on the screen. Then Akwa Ibom State, the host, are sixth on the log with 7 gold, 10 silver and 7 bronze. Altogether, with 9 bronze, altogether 26 medals.
I can even tell you, this is an improvement. They were on the 8th position before. It was yesterday that they even improved up to this point.
And in swimming we went home with 0.
You see, and yes, we have
it was even weightlifting. It's in weightlifting that and on track and in track events that we've gotten this.
You see,
currently as we speak, the male football team are playing in the final, so we're expecting something good from there. The female football team that's just 1 medal. Swimming that would have gotten us all of the medals, because that's what Bayelsa and Delta have used to get all of
course, and then
we got 0.
The swimming
and we have water.
The swimming pool at the Yotanship Stadium is there for at least.
It was just revived for this purpose.
No, but it was. Why was it abandoned? It was used during the police games.
And after that, what happened?
Now, and then you also say that we have reverse just to finalize your competitive scale. Ordinarily, we should have many athletes from here swimming very well. You know.
Anyway, that's what it is. Let us take you straight up to the action, and from the action we will call it